Surah 6, verse 108 of the Quran says, in effect, don't insult other people's religions if it's going to cause people to insult Islam in return. Sadly, the Dawah Bros have apparently erased that verse from the Qurans they hand out, just as they conveniently erased what they were saying to Avery before he brought up Muhammad and the men of Al-Zutt. Let's watch the extended clip and see what Smiles to Jenna deleted. Again, this is the version Smiles to Jenna posted.
No, Muhammad's gay.
No, he's not.
You didn't know that? You didn't know Muhammad got rolled all night by the Zutt?
No, he
didn't. You didn't know that was Zutt? Talk to him.
And here's what he cut out. A Muslim started insulting Jesus and Paul, and Avery repeatedly warned him to be respectful.
So you're going to become Jesus' wife when you're back?
Come respectful, and then I'll talk to you. Until then, stay to the side.
It's in the Bible.
Come respectful, and then we can talk.
It's in the Bible. What did you ask?
Come respectful.
Jesus' wife.
Okay, so Christians always project their own homosexuality on the Prophet Muhammad and Islam. Now, the only people who are gay are David Wood and his boyfriends, Apus, or Doglogic, and Paul. So these are only gay people. And James White is, in my opinion, gay because he always hangs out with like kids younger than him. So that puts him into homosexual camp. At least according to me. But we know who are the gay ones. We know who are the real homosexuals. It's not the Prophet Muhammad. It's David Wood and his boyfriends Apus and Doglogic and the obvious false apostle Paul, because David Wood was in prison, and we know that guys in prison either get rode or are rode, and we know David Wood's boyfriend is Apus without a shadow of a doubt, and Doglogic, because Doglogic and David Wood ride each other in hotel rooms, as I've proven in some pictures I have on my channel. You can look it up. You can look it up there. But anyways, we know that the only people who are gay are homosexual are David Wood and his boyfriends Apus and Doglogic or Avery. That we know that these guys are in the Apostle Paul. These are the only people who are gay in Christianity. Of course, David Wood was rode when he was in prison, when he spent like 5 years in prison. Of course, David Wood was rode because David Wood was shared a cell with some big guys, and David Wood was rode when he was in his prison cell, or David Wood was riding somebody who was his cellmate or was sharing a prison cell with him. And we know that David Wood and Apus ride each other daily because Apus and or David Wood sleep over each other's houses and do YouTube videos. So they sleep over. So Apus sleeps over David Wood's house, or David Wood will sleep over Apus's house, and they definitely ride each other there. Because again, keep in mind that Apus is divorced now. He doesn't have a wife. He's not married anymore. So Apus is divorced, and he's kind of a free agent. And when he's not dating 70-year-old Jewish grandmothers in Israel, he's getting action by David Wood in David Wood's house, or in Apus's house, or in David Wood's house, wherever they're spending the night. They're definitely, Apus is riding David Wood, or David Wood is riding Apus. So of course David Wood is the only person who was rode when he was in prison, and when he's with Apus. But anyways, I'm getting way off topic. The Al-Zutt, let's stay on topic. The Al-Zutt Hadith is false, as proven many times before. The Hadith in Musnad Ahmad's pressure language fits. So the Arabic words translated into English say they crowded onto him. And in Musnad Ahmad, it is said that the figures who are crowding around him were angels, not the people of Al-Zutt. So Ibn Masud then reports the appearances of figures whom he describes using a simile, as though they were Al-Zutt. This is stated in Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Musnad Ahmad, Hadith number 3788. So the figures, so they weren't, like, the Prophet Muhammad did not meet, the tribe of Al-Zutt. Ibn Masud used that, used like a metaphor, like a simile, saying as though they were Al-Zutt. So the Arabic translates as though they were Al-Zutt. This is stated in Musnad Ahmad, Hadith 3788. A similar report is stated in Tirmidhi 2861, but without the mentioning of crowding. So Tirmidhi mentions angels as well, not the people of Al-Zutt. So Tirmidhi, Ahmad ibn Hanbal say that the angels crowded around the Prophet Muhammad. Nor does it say Al-Zutt rode the Prophet Muhammad or Prophet Muhammad was riding Al-Zutt. It doesn't say, the Arabic doesn't say any of that. So, the Arabic translates as they crowded onto him. It has nothing, it doesn't say anything about riding. And Ibn Masud says it was a metaphor, as though they were Al-Zutt. That doesn't mean that the Prophet Muhammad met the people of Al-Zutt, the tribe of Al-Zutt. The Hadith and Tirmidhi and Ahmad ibn Hanbal say that the Prophet Muhammad met angels, in the desert. It doesn't say that they were the human figures of Al-Zutt. However, that's not the mistranslation or mistranslating the Arabic to mistranslating the Arabic words isn't even the major problem. There's another major problem with citing this hadith, and it is that this hadith is actually not authentic. It's not it doesn't come from reliable sources. The hadith in Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal or Tirmidhi may not be authentic or reliable anyways. Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Hadith 3788, was graded weak by Suwaib al-Anut, etc. So, in the Tirmidhi Hadith is also classified as da'if or weak or inauthentic. So, according to Sheikh al-Anut and Dora Salam is a modern publisher of Hadith books. They operate in, I believe, Saudi Arabia or something. I don't know, but Darussalam is a publisher in a Muslim country. I don't know which. I think it's Pakistan or it's Saudi Arabia or something. I don't remember what country they're located at, but they publish Islamic books. They publish Hadith books or tafsir books like Ibn Kathir, Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi. They publish those from Arabic sources into English books, so English speaking and reading people can read those books. But that hadith, according to the publisher Dora Salam, that hadith in Tirmidhi is weak or inauthentic, thus it cannot be used as evidence. Same thing with this Musnad ibn Hanbal hadith. Sheikh Suwaib al-Anut says that hadith is weak or inauthentic. So these hadith are not authentic, or they don't come from reliable sources or they don't come from reliable chains of transmission or isnads. They don't have reliable isnads. So these hadith, they may not be authentic or reliable anyways. So, because there are hadith scholars saying those hadith are inauthentic or not reliable, so they can be tossed out. But regardless, even if they are authentic, the hadith does not translate the way they want those Christians like David Wood want it, or Doglogic want it translated as. The Arabic language implies that the angels crowded around the Prophet Muhammad. It does not say the people of Al-Zutt rode the Prophet Muhammad or he was rode by the people of Al-Zutt. As I've proven, I've shown the Arabic text, and the Arabic text properly translated into English says something completely different from what they imagine it to say. So the hadith doesn't say anything about the Prophet Muhammad being rode or the people of Al-Zutt riding the Prophet Muhammad. Nowhere does the hadith imply that. It's based on mistranslations from the Arabic into English. But we know why Doglogic is bringing this hadith up. We know why Psycho PDF, ex-con David Wood is bringing that up. We know why they're bringing that up, because those people love to cause drama. They're drama queens, and they're attention whores, and they're attention seekers, and they got nothing better to do than annoy Muslims in order to gain clout and in order to gain attention for themselves. That's a sad reality. That's a sad world of Avery or Doglogic and David Wood, to annoy, stalk, and harass Muslims so they can get the attention that they desperately crave. Stay tuned. More videos are coming up ahead.